Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, so anyways, I'll go ahead and get started. And like I said, as people pop in, I may pause to let the newcomers in, but otherwise, we'll just try to keep it rolling. So again, this is the deal. We're all here looking for some decentralized passive income, preferably. And again, we definitely are in a position to do that with Forsage, as many of us already know here on the team have enjoyed the benefits of this smart contract already. And myself, I've been on, I guess, a little over 4 weeks, coming up on 5 weeks now, and it has been a pretty significant amount of passive income. And most definitely, I've had to put a little time and energy and effort into it, but it is on a bit of an autopilot as advertised, with the fact that it is a perpetual recycling, what they call an automated cycler. And so we will go ahead and just do a brief overview. I have a PowerPoint presentation that some of you've already seen it before. I've modified it a bit and revised it a bit. And we'll go through it, of course, at the end, or at least on the second half, rather, we'll go through a Q&A and just let everyone either take the mic, or if you want to leave your questions in the chat box, then we can do it that way as well. So, but again, let's just dive straight on into it and see what we see. So again, as all of you know, I mean, things are no doubt hectic across the world. I think that it is pretty much unanimous in terms of the fact that we can all agree that people are going through, some questionable situations, right? With respect to losing their job, or potentially losing their job, or just looking for a way to earn passive income. And so, with the advances in technology, like the internet, of course, been around for 25 plus years now or so, cryptocurrency, which is relatively new on the scene, and even more so are smart contracts, which are very new. And we'll talk a little bit about it. Smart contracts, aka dApps, decentralized applications. But anyways, though, people are globally now able to connect and to help support each other at levels never before imagined. And we are doing this without a centralized authority, without a bank, without a business or a corporation that gets in the middle and controls or compromises what we're trying to do. And yeah, so this is how it works. I mean, of course, we can now do all of this on the go, either with a phone, right? Because a lot of us who have already tapped into Forsage have seen how, we have to use an application that allows us to connect with the smart contract. And of course, you can do it from PC, from laptop, or your desktop. And it like I said, works as designed, right? So that we can easily interact with this passive income platform, which is called Forsage. And so again, Forsage, what it is it's a smart contract built on the Ethereum blockchain. And it is what Lotto, who is one of the developers, some of you are already familiar with Lotto. He's been, kind of the face of Forsage with respect to the developer that people know inside of the official Telegram group. But however, their team of developers has put this smart contract together, again, built on the Ethereum blockchain. And the way that works is that once a smart contract, or the coding, right? These guys are programmers, and they put the code onto a smart contract that it cannot be altered with respect to the actual function of how it works with the Etherscan. And so we'll talk more about that during the Q&A. But so again, we're in a situation here where, we have a way to earn income that doesn't have to, with respect to money that we put into this, it doesn't end up going into a centralized location, which is this is the beauty of a smart contract, and it being decentralized, right? Because there's thousands, or actually millions, of computers across the world that are processing the data, and that help encrypt the coding, again, so that it cannot be hacked into, or, like I said, altered or changed. So Forsage is the first 100% matrix project. And a matrix project, again, how it works is that, of course, as many more, as many participants, come into the program, it works that the income, it falls into various positions, which we'll show how the matrix is designed here on Forsage. But of course, from Lotto, now, of course, I haven't personally gotten to the point of understanding exactly why Forsage is what's known as a true matrix as opposed to a delta, because again, these other automated cyclers, from what I understand, are delta style matrices, which are not true. And what happens is they start off great in the beginning, and for maybe a few months, the income is great, but then as your network grows, the income starts to kind of burn out a bit. So, but let me go ahead and dive on into the next slide here, and let's just talk about what I've kind of already rambled on, but decentralization. What does decentralization mean, and what are the advantages, and what are the benefits? So decentralized marketing is created on an automated contract that offers you maximum security and sustainability. A smart contract is an automated execution algorithm. It exists within the Ethereum blockchain, and the Ethereum, it is right now currently the #1 cryptographic currency that smart contracts can be written on. And smart contracts, like cryptocurrencies, are decentralized, as we already said. They work strictly according to the underlying programming, without the possibility of changing the way that it works, which I already explained. The code that contains all the logic of the contract expiration is on the blockchain, and all calculations are provided, as I said before, by millions of computers across the world. And this ensures that there's no hacking or any altering from outside sources to the project. All right, so in a nutshell, that's what that is. Now, Forsage, and how does it work? Now, again, when you come into Forsage, there are going to be two separate programs, right, that we're getting into, two separate sides of how Forsage works. There's an active side, which is what they call Forsage X3 and Forsage X4. So when we come into these, again, effectively, we bring people into, if on the active side, if you are a team builder, or you don't even have to be a team builder. I mean, really, once you get to a point, because I know many people who have gotten to a point where they have earned just even income during or with the X4 side of things, and they've gotten excited about it and decided that, hey, this is actually working. I've earned my money back that I put into this, even without having to share it. And then they decided to share it, right? So, and then it just becomes kind of a passion to talk about it, especially again during these times. So with Forsage, with Forsage X3, it has one row of participants that are going to come in before it recycles. All right. So as you can see on slot 1, which is I like to think of it as an income stream level 1, you're going to have 3 spots for participants to hop into. Now, again, when you get to the third spot there, the process starts all over again. And I'll show a diagram here in a little bit of exactly how that plays out. And with Forsage X4, same type of process. You have actually 2 rows here, right? So on the first row, you have 2 people. And on the second row, you actually have 4 people that are coming in. And again, so the way that this works is you do give a referral link, right, on this X3, where people are going to come into that, and they're going to, like I said before, join both X3 and X4 when they use your link. All right. So, and they're always tied to you, or their crypto Ethereum wallet, rather, will always be tied to you as a partner. Right. And again, you always follow your superior partner to each of the different income slots. All right, so let's move on and get a glimpse of what it looks like on the actual desk, or the dashboard rather. So when you are in your account, this is what you're going to be looking at, essentially. All right. Now, as you can see, there's 12 different income slots, right, that are in each program, right? So effectively, you do have the potential of creating 24 income streams that are working simultaneously, that are paying out at the same time in parallel with each other. Now, as we move through from one income slot to the next, you do come in, everyone comes in, as I said before, to income slot 1 on X3 and X4. And then from there, as they decide to move up, right, they do have to buy the next income slot progressively. All right, so you will have to come in and, for example, if you're on income slot 1 and you want to upgrade, you would have to go to slot 2 and then to slot 3 next, and slot 4 chronologically. All right, in that particular order. And it would be the same on X4 as well. You come in, as I said already, when you're spending your 0.05 Ethereum, which we'll show here in a second, it's divided into 0.025 on X3 and X4. And it's the same process you'll have to come through. And as you upgrade through the different income streams, which are really a license. If you want to look at it, when you are moving up to upgrade, you're effectively buying that license to the next income stream from your superior partner. All right, and each one of these income streams just so happens to be double what the previous income stream was before, right? So 0.025, then we're at 0.05, and then 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.8 Ethereum, again, is what that represents. And you will, start to see some pretty substantial income. No doubt about it. I mean, once we get into the higher levels, you don't necessarily have to be at these higher levels. If you're recycling, right? If people are coming in and if they haven't yet upgraded to the higher levels, keep in mind that these do continue. They don't burn out. And that is the same process on X4 as well, that as you move up, again, it's double what the previous income stream was, and you're actually paid 3 times, rather 4 times on the bottom slot of X4. And again, with X3, you're actually paid 3 times, but the last always recycles and it ends up going to your upline. So let's go ahead and talk about the, again, how exactly the 0.05, how it splits. All right, so registering, when you use someone's affiliate link, right, their referral link, effectively what that's going to do is bring you into the program and allows you to then, if you have your Ethereum wallet funded, and we will talk about some of the ways for people who are wanting to explain to others their prospects or people that they're bringing into this, family, friends, whoever it might be, how to fund your Ethereum wallet. But again, we all start off at the same level with 0.05 Ethereum. You put that into the program to, again, enter into the X3 and into the X4, right? And as I said before, there's 1 row on X3 there, and then there is 2 rows on X4, right? So that 0.025 opens up X3, 0.025 opens up X4, all right? And that is effectively what, and of course, as I said before, you will need MetaMask and or Trust Wallet, which are applications that allow you to interact with the contract, because there, of course, typically people think that just with the affiliate link or the referral link that you could just put it into the browser, put it into any Safari browser on your, if you have an iPhone, or if you're on desktop or whatever, and you just go to Chrome or to Internet Explorer or something like that. You can't just put the link into the browser and just pop into the contract. You actually have to have, as I said, an application to interact with the smart contract. So it's an easy step once you become familiar with it, but again, we will explain how that works here shortly. So X3, how does it work? And it's very simple, to understand. And let's go ahead and go through. I'll read through, but all the partners in your slots of Forsage X3 program are your personal referral partners. All right, people that you've personally brought in as I again like to call it, the Forsage X3, the active, where you're actively sharing this and bringing people in. And those will only be people that you have referred. There is a situation where you can get, well, maybe one of your referrals has a person who upgrades, but if they have not themselves upgraded, then you may become, or rather you'll receive the income from that, but we'll talk about how that works here in a little bit. So on the first slot there, again, the referral partner takes place underneath you. 100% of the payment goes directly into your wallet, and it is instantaneous. As soon as it confirms on the Etherscan blockchain, then you do receive the money. You don't have to go in and manually take out the money or manually put in, or you don't have to wait until, with some passive income platforms, it's a set date. They only pay on Saturdays, and then you have to still do a manual withdrawal. That's not the case here. Again, you instantly, once your partner has sent the payment, it goes through, and they do have to confirm the payment, right? They send it from their side using MetaMask or Trust Wallet, and then that will allow you to instantly receive the payment, again, without having to do any manual work, so to speak. And it's the same with your second partner. Again, that second partner is going to take place underneath you, and again, it's instantly credited. And the third is where the beauty of the recycler comes into effect. You're essentially paying your upline, your superior partner, your sponsor, whatever word you'd like to use. You use that to start the process all over again. And effectively, you are purchasing, again, the license for that income stream, again, from your sponsor. So this is where the recycling comes into effect, and that payment will go up to them. And then you will, again, start the cycle all over again. And these income slots, or slots rather, positions, we can call them, will clear and open up again, allowing for you to get your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, and seventh, and eighth, and continue on as the process, as new people come in. And as I said here on the third, your third partner takes place underneath you. 100% of that payment is considered yours, but that is basically you're paying your upline to reactivate that income stream. All right. And let's move on. A more descriptive kind of diagram of how it works with X3. So at level 1, when you come in, as we all have to do, you're going to be paying that 0.025 Ethereum. And this is where your first partner comes in. They pop in, and then that payment of 0.25 is going to go to you. And same with the second partner. And then it's on the third. Well, actually, let me talk about this here too, with the fact that it just so happens that with 2 of these payments that come in, this will be exactly what it is to upgrade to the next level. All right, and that's how it works with each of the income slots. And while we definitely recommend that if you don't want to miss any payments, because if you have a partner that comes in and they upgrade, but yet you haven't, you miss the payment that they would have to pay you, typically, if you had already activated that next income stream. All right, so again, partners, or rather your referrals, can jump over you, but again, you will still be connected to them once you purchase that income stream, and then you're back at the same position in terms of being their referral. But any payments that go through with your referral on that side, if they're at the second level, those payments don't come to you. So it's definitely recommended that you do upgrade. So again, anyways, here on the third slot, though, as I already explained before, this is where it reactivates your re-entry up to your sponsor. The payment will go, and you essentially, again, have to pay to play again. And again, that payment will go up to your sponsor, and the process starts all over again. Okay, and this continues over and over and over and over and over and over again. All right, and it will be the same process again on level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, all the way up through 12 income slots. That it runs the same process on X3. All right. So with Forsage X4, the team building, or the passive side that we can call it, where again, you're going to have a similar type of structure. But as I said before, you have 2 rows. On the first row, you have, as you can see here, these places that are in purple. are actually going to be going up to potentially your sponsor, but they don't necessarily go to your sponsor. And in many ways that it plays out, it may end up falling into a different spot if your sponsor doesn't already have, or if your sponsor doesn't have open slots for that to go into. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, exactly how that plays out. And so, but the first and the second payment essentially will, as that comes in, and keep in mind too that, like I said, when you bring someone into the program, as they fill in your first or the first place in your income slot on X3, I've got someone else popping in, a few more people. But again, as they fill in that first spot, remember they do come in at the same time here at income slot, or rather at position 1 on whatever particular income stream that might be. And same with the second, that's going to end up going up. And on the third payment that comes in, or the third place, whoever ends up filling this place, because it can be filled from spillover, which we'll talk about again as well too. The spillover can come from either above you from your own upline, or it can come from below from your referrals. All right. So, and the order of this typically goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I have seen different orders that this has gone, and I've seen 1 fill up, and then 3 fill up, and then 2 fill up, and then 4. So this does take, it does go in a different order at times, but essentially you are getting paid on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and the 6th position. But keep in mind that the 6th position is your recycler, right? This is what reactivates the whole process all over again. Okay. But again, this is your team build. These aren't necessarily people that you brought in personally. And they, again, will fall from different places in terms of the spillover, depending on the team that you're in. More active teams certainly have, you're in a position to get more spillover, as opposed to being in a team, let's say, where the lineage isn't necessarily connected to a team that works together. All right. So, which I have to say that I'm quite proud that the power team is certainly growing. And, you know, we are all teaching and learning from each other how to work cohesively and to, you know, create that team build that we're doing here on X4. So again, this is how X4 works. I have another, well, we'll talk about the reinvest as well. I mean, of course, I already explained it a bit, but again, the fact is, whether it's on X3 or X4, again, when we fill up the slots here, that last slot, whether it's the 3rd slot on X3 or whether it's the 6th slot on X4, that payment will end up going into the open position on your referrals, or rather on your upline's income slot there. Now, if by chance your payment when you recycle goes to their last spot, then that spot will, for them, activate their income. Well, it will activate the cycler all over again, and the payment, it may end up actually going to their upline. Okay, is how it would work. But let me continue on and just give another quick diagram like I did with X3 of how it works out. So with X4 level 1, just the same with income stream 1, you have yourself at 0.025. You have your partner coming in at, well, rather, it doesn't necessarily have to be your partner, but whoever ends up coming in here. And then that will end up going up to someone in the upline. All right. So, or it could be left or right, or even below you. The payments have sometimes worked out in a way that, depending on how they fall in the matrix. And we'll let, actually, John is on the line. We'll let him explain it a bit more. He's a bit more well-versed at this than I am. So, but again, we have that second position on the first row of X4. And again, this payment will also move on. It doesn't go directly to you. But again, at the 3rd slot, the payments, and rather the 4th, does end up going to you. And this is, again, just so happens to be the amount that it will cost you to upgrade to the next income stream for X4. All right. So, and that will, again, allow you to continue up through these circles really without having to come out of pocket again. Now, obviously, some people, they make the decision that they want to not wait, right? Because again, if you don't open up, let's say level 1, or rather level 2, level 3, level 4, that those are income slots that you essentially are missing out on. At the end of the day, what it means is there's activity going on that you are not going to be a part of unless you've opened those up. But again, it's your choice, it's your prerogative. You can wait, most definitely, if you choose to do that, and just wait until you're able to upgrade when those payments come in. All right, so the third payment could really just be considered money that you can either hold on to and save in your Ethereum wallet, or again, you can use that to upgrade to the next, as it builds, as the money builds in your Ethereum wallet, you can use that to upgrade a little bit sooner than waiting again. And on that sixth slot, the sixth position or sixth placement, again, like I said, this is what reactivates your re-entry into that particular income stream, and the process starts all over again. But again, keep in mind that payment that is coming to you, but you also have to, in order to start this cycle over again, have to release that payment to pay for the process. All right, so, and as I said, it starts all over again, and we already know how it works because I just explained it. All right, so that's how X4 will play out. Now with the upgrading, so there's a couple of things here to see. The baskets, for one. This is something that you guys will become familiar with. If you are not already familiar with it, you do need to click on the baskets to upgrade, like I said, in chronological order. Now, the fact of the matter is, with the upgrades, let's see, should I just read through this? Yeah, well, anyways, upgrade is the opening or the purchase of the next slot, or of a more expensive level. It's done once at the opening of the slot. The payment goes to your superior partner, provided that he has opened that level, as I explained before. And there is enough income in each of those placements to reinvest and to also pay for the next level, as I'd already explained. Okay, so, and it's up to you, as I explained before as well. You can decide whether or not to go up to the next level. But there is a caveat to be aware of, that if you don't upgrade to the next income slot after, let's say, for instance, if you're on level 8, all right, or it doesn't matter, but we'll use this for an example, that if this recycles 2 times, and then on the third, on the third recycle here, what will happen is your income stream will go into a bit of a pause, right? And what that is because, and you'll get this arrow that's giving you a caution that you are in a position to miss payments, because from here, if you don't upgrade to the next level, it could be level 3, it could be level 4. If you've cycled through the that income stream previous to that 2 times, then what's going to happen is, like I said, it goes into a bit of a pause. You will end up missing out on where you'll start to see, and we'll show examples of this after the presentation here, where, yeah, you'll see an icon like this, right, with this red minus sign that will show you that you've lost profit to a higher partner, right? Because what happens is the payments, even at that level, will actually then start to go up to your superior partner. So again, this is why it's very important that people understand the importance of upgrading. All right, so and then if you have actually, if you are that superior partner who's received this lost payment, you'll see a gift, so to speak. And that gift, essentially, again, it means that you have received payments from your referrals who haven't actually continued to upgrade after it's gone through 2 cycles. So that's how that works. Now, the overflow, as I was explaining before about the spillover and taking over of a partner, as you can see, we have different colored circles, right? We've got a, I guess we could call this teal, and more slightly blue, and more of a royal blue, and then a pink or purple circle. And then the teal is going to be people who are your personal partners. Now that, again, on level 4 is the only place that this is going to play out. But that's going to, like I said, it's going to vary. You know, your personal partner will only go into the slots here on the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. And because, again, these first 2 always end up going up. Where's that? No, I apologize. That's actually incorrect. You could have a personal. Oh, look who has joined us. We have Lotto in the house. Lotto has decided to join us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Lotto, how's it going, man? Almost through here with this presentation. Then we're going to get to the Q&A, and we'll give Lotto some time to acclimate himself to the call here. And if he decides that he wants to share some of his knowledge and whatnot, then he can do that. But honored to have Lotto in on the call. So again, as I was explaining with the different circles here, but on the teal, that'll be your personal partner. And yes, your personal partners can end up filling up the first row. But as I said, the payments for those go elsewhere. All right. And then again, we have the lighter blue, where again, those can fill in, and that's overflow, personally invited partner of your superior. Right. So again, that might fall into your slot depending on how the matrix plays out. And again, we have the more royal blue, overflow from below. All right. Personally invited partner of your downline. And lastly, is this pink or purple circle. Now, this is a partner who has overtaken his superior, right? In the event, as I explained before, where you have a partner who has decided to upgrade, but yet their upline has not yet upgraded, all right? And that is how that would play out. Welcome, Aziz. We have another new attendee. And so that is how it actually works. Again, in terms of the fact that on X4, it is a team build. Oh, there, Lotto is coming back. I think he dropped out. But it is a team build, and X4 is really where a lot of the magic takes place, because again, you can receive payments that you didn't expect to come on a pretty regular basis, again, especially if you are in an active team, such as the power team. So, all right, let's continue on. And these are going to be examples of some of the, well, relative to the value of Ethereum. And I think it's near to that. I actually haven't checked the price of Ethereum today, but I think that it's somewhere within this ballpark. All right, so again, with the different 12 levels on X3 and X4, and keep in mind that they are happening in parallel at the same time. So again, with 0.025, right, that's income slot 1 or income stream 1. That's roughly $4 of Ethereum at this point. All right, so 0.05 is the cost that everyone has to pay to get into the Forsage program, is roughly $8 of Ethereum. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, if you take a second to think about it and consider that it only cost $8 of Ethereum right now, and Ethereum is undervalued, especially after the recent, crash that we had. And Ethereum is really quite low compared to what it could be. I've seen Ethereum. No, I'm sorry. I got Siri on my phone popping up. Every time I say Ethereum, for some reason, it thinks I'm saying Siri. So anyways, my apologies. But yeah, so the fact that you only have to pay $8 to get into this is pretty amazing. Because again, if Ethereum jumps up, it's only roughly is it $60 or so that one Ethereum cost at today's value, that it could cost, I've seen it as high as $1,800 for one Ethereum. So you can imagine the difference in terms of the cost of entry to get into this program. So this is why it's really important that people be made aware of the unique timing of this to get into this program, with this really phenomenal program that, because I've been in passive income myself, passive income platforms, and in particular through cryptocurrency. And this is by far one of, really it's top notch as far as I'm concerned, with how it's designed and how it's you know, with the different layers that it has. So, but again, continuing on through these different income slots, as you can see, point one is around $16. Point two is $32. Point four is 64. And keep in mind that on X3, that's 4 times over. So that's $12. And, you know, as you obviously multiply each of these times 3, you're getting a pretty substantial amount of income. All right. So again, point 8 on the 6th income slot there is 3 times 128. And again, same as we get down here where it starts to get pretty interesting when you're getting in every payment that comes in. And keep in mind on X4, you're getting 4 payments of that. Yes, the 3rd payment or the 4th payment is being used to recycle, but it's well worth it in my opinion. But again, being able to receive these kind of payments continually, perpetually, passively, and it does happen passively. So of course, as I move up through these other income streams, you can see that they are pretty substantial. 51 Ethereum right now, with Ethereum being only $160 per Ethereum, is an $8,000 payment. All right, ladies and gents. So yeah, take a second to pause and think about how significant a payment that is, right? So multiple times over, you're looking at a pretty sizable, well, income stream, no doubt about it. All right, so moving on, the recommended start options. Now, as I explained before, it's not required, but it is recommended to go ahead and open up at least 3 income streams on X3 and on X4. All right, now if you're not able to do it on X3 because you feel like, well, I'm not really gonna share this with anyone, I'm gonna see how it works first, it would be highly recommended, again, to open up your X4 income streams as far as you're comfortable doing. Because again, in these, well, what's colored in orange right here, when those are open, you are in a position to receive spillover, which has definitely happened. Many people who are already in the power team know that firsthand, that some of those payments coming in have just, you know, come out of nowhere. And a lot of those, again, payments can be what allow you to upgrade to the next income slot. In fact, we have one guy that I always bring up, Richard, who in fact was able to easily upgrade without getting anyone. He didn't, it wasn't that he wasn't trying, but he wasn't able to get anyone into the X3 program. But in the position that he was in on the team, he had people spilling in, and he easily upgraded to level 2 just from pure spillover. And that's happened to a few other people in the team as well. So keep that in mind. Again, it's definitely recommended to upgrade at least 3 on each of the different programs, which is about 0.35 Ethereum. Okay, so that's roughly between $50 and $60, whatever it might be. So again, as I already explained, you know, the recommended sign up options, you know, the upgrade to level 3 on X3, X4, and yeah, the total entry of that is going to be, well, 0.35 Ethereum, 50 to 60 bucks. And this is a proven working option which creates faster growth. And this option is optimal for most people because, again, 50 bucks to come into a program is really, it's a pretty, you're still on the very low end of what a lot of people are willing to put on the line on centralized programs where you go into some type of business where you have to put up, you know, a minimum $200 even to get started to buy some package that, you know, you hope is going to work. Hang on, we've got someone hopping in the room. Let me go ahead and let them in. So definitely something that is, you know, something to consider when you're getting into this. But like I said, it's not required. You can come in with a minimum of 0.05, which I said is roughly $8 right now, to start into both programs. And you can, of course, upgrade maybe to level 2 if you want to do something in between. But by all means, if you're able to upgrade even further than that, we've had people who have come into the program and immediately upgrade to level 5 or level 6, just based on what their comfort level is. All right. So, and there are no timelines. There are no deadlines. As well as I've already explained, this is on the blockchain and will be here and will continue to cycle. So whenever you decide to come into this, because a lot of people will throw the argument that, oh, it's too late. This thing has already been going, and so on and so forth. I'm going to show an example here of the fact that people even coming in after the fact, after your sponsor already has people, they've been able to achieve a higher income than their sponsor did, right? So I'll show an example of that here shortly. But however, all the details of Forsage are well thought out so that the movement is dynamic and the revenue streams are constant, right? Like I said, moving in parallel. And with this DApp centralization, your income is fully preserved, right? As we explained that, no one can come in and hack it. No one can come in and change even the developers, they can't come in and change what's already been applied to the blockchain, right? It's there, it's open source that anyone can see it, full disclosure. We'll show examples of people of different accounts so that you can look at your own referrals accounts. You can look at your sponsors accounts. You can look at the very first account. And we're up into, I'm not sure, like 20,000 or something like that so far that have come into the program. And it's only been 2 months. A lot of these programs, after 3-4 months or so, are into the hundreds of thousands of participants. But anyway, so this is important for long-term development and allows you to concentrate your attention on the business and truly make a perpetual passive income a reality for yourself. So this is the example, and there are many examples. This is just one that we just happened to pull a few days ago that really illustrates the point that this person, whenever they came in, they were the 2,544th person to come in, and they only had 4 partners. And with just 4 partners, they earned an income of $1,200, right? So now, as you can see, right now we can pull this up there are options to click on the dashboard. You can click on the partners, statistics, and so on and so forth. And the entire dashboard is interactive, right? So, and we'll show examples of that here shortly too. But just to quickly illustrate that the fact that their 4th partner that they brought in came in and took this pretty serious, right? So as you can see here, you can see the different levels that they X3 and X4, the different programs. You can see the different levels that they upgraded to. Here you can see, their first came in with, I guess they upgraded both levels, or rather they upgraded 3 and 4 to the 3rd income stream on both 3 and 4, on X3 and X4. And then their second came in and upgraded to the 5th and 4th income streams. Their third their third partner didn't upgrade at all. And, so their earnings, unfortunately, were nothing, because sometimes things just play out that it's not guaranteed necessarily that you're going to get passive income. And they didn't bring in any partners themselves, apparently. And so the 4th partner that they brought in, right, from member 2,544, they brought in a member, this is 7,515. Now this person decided to take this program serious, and they have upgraded to level 10 on both X3 and X4. And by building, I'm sure they built a pretty significant team, have earned, and this was how long? This was the time difference between when they came in. This was March the 16th. I'm not sure when this ID 2,544 came in, but clearly they came in at least 3 weeks ahead of this person here, their 4th person that they brought in. But however, though, so their 4th partner has brought in already, and this is an old screenshot. I'm sure that this partner has pulled in more ETH than this. This was just at the time that we took it, that I took this screenshot. But that's 106 Ethereum, which was $18,000 at the time. All right, so definitely something to consider. All right, now, and again, as far as people who bring up that pyramid situation or pyramid argument, that right there shows you that you can earn more than the person who brought you into the program. But I will go ahead and show MetaMask, which is the, again, PC, desktop, or laptop. And this is actually an extension for various browsers, right? So you have your, let me click on it first and it'll bring up the different browsers that it works with. It works with Chrome, which I'm on, and also works with Firefox, and it works with your Brave browser. All right, so, and when you download and you click onto, or rather, hang on, when you click on install, it will bring you to the page where you can then load it onto your browser. And again, it's what's called an extension, as you can see. And it is a application that allows you to interact with the smart contract. Plain and simple, to not overcomplicate what I've already said before. But you cannot just take an affiliate link and just throw it in the browser if you don't already have one of these applications to use. Now for mobile, you're going to be using Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is, and again, both of these applications are very well known, you know, very credible, and really have been around for quite a while. I mean, I've been into these passive income platforms for roughly 3 years or so, which is, you know, it's really just a snip of time. But at the same time, that is, you know, I have seen the evolution, for example, of MetaMask and how it has developed over the years. And it's very reputable and well known. So you can certainly have confidence in using it, again, as your Ethereum-based ERC20 token wallet. All right, but again, going to Trust Wallet, very similar in the fact that you do need it to interact if you're on the go. Let's say you don't have a computer to, you know, as far as a desktop or a laptop, then you can do this on the go easily. I mean, there's plenty of people who are big earners, who are top earners that don't necessarily have a MetaMask, but they're doing all the action with respect to working with Forsage on their phone. All right, so again, available for both iOS and for Android devices. Okay, so I think that wraps it up with the presentation. I can go through now. I guess I can go ahead and open up the Q&A. And for people who are maybe curious about the actual registration process, I think most of the people here on the call right now already know how it goes. But are there any questions before I get started? Or rather, before I open up the, you know, open up the floor for other people who want to chime in? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, there were some questions in chat.
Let me click on and see which questions. Okay, no, this is, I guess, from Patrick. He says, I have a partner that joined at X3 level 1 and on X4 level 4.
It's a statement, not a question.
Ah, okay. My apologies. I just read through without looking at the end.
I'm sorry.
Asa was asking about the question about do you have anyone, if you don't have anyone under you, can you earn passive income or not? And Patrick was replying to that, so was Daniela.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you can, but again, it's not guaranteed in terms of the results that you will get. It varies based on the way the people coming in from the team, and the team encompasses the people who are well above you, and, you know, people who are left, right, in terms of other people who are, you know, to the left and to the right of you in the team. And then beyond that, you can actually get spillover from people who are not even in your lineage, so to speak. If you can explain that, John, because you're a bit more, far more well-versed with respect to how some of the spillover works, sometimes even for people who are not in our lineage.
Well, for passive income, well, from what I've tracked, it only happens majoritarily in the group you're in. So if your group is active, then you have spillovers coming in that group. However, once in a while, you do get spillovers from outside of the group, from the network, but that's rare. It's very rare. It has to be a teamwork. The passive part is definitely a teamwork in your own team. So if your team is active, then your passive keeps building up. Like Patrick just mentioned, simple level 1 on X3, X4 can also get you money in a couple of days if your team is active.
Mm. So to answer, yeah, for Ada, yeah, again, I'm not sure if that completely answered your question, but yeah, you most definitely can earn passively. It's just that you are, you know, going to position yourself to earn much more quickly if you are sharing the program with other people. Other questions, don't be shy, chime in. And hey, Lotto, how's it going, man? It's good to see you over here. You want to say hello to the people, to the Power Team, brother?
Hello, Power Team. How are you?
It's an honor, man, to have you, bro. Honor to have you in the on the call.
So I don't understand. Do you see me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we
we see
can
you.
see you.
I don't see you. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually wanted to ask Lado, is there well, actually, you probably already saw questions that John forwarded. Have you seen the questions already?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and John, I tell you what, I will go ahead and bring up those questions.
Sure.
And I think, where are they here? Actually, let me go to.
I can ask it to myself.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have the questions there, Lotto. So if you want to
Yes.
just ask, or
First question was to the simple man, how would you describe Forsage? Okay, the answer is Forsage uses the most effective model for long-term income. And Forsage is the only such project on a smart contract. Plus, now comes the crisis, you know, and global changes. Hundreds of millions of people are losing their jobs, losing their income. Those businesses that survive will look for ways to replace people with automation. All this makes our activities many times more in demand than usual.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely have to agree with that.
So the second question was, what caused you to develop Forsage? The answer is, I was in MLM, multi-level marketing, long before smart contracts appeared. I always liked to be independent, not to have bosses, to be as free as possible. My first MLM project was Tian's, maybe you know, Chinese project, Tianxi, Tian's. So I entered there in 2001, although I was actively involved in business much later, and I built my business there, after which I received passive income for 10 years. Then they changed conditions and I lost this source of income. Smart contracts appeared last year and I immediately liked this idea. No one can change the conditions. No one can limit my income. For creating code, for marketing is not an easy task. All previous smart contracts are a delta because it is the easiest code. But you earn there only at the beginning, and then everyone runs to look for new projects. After a long, difficult work, we were able to create a matrix code and create an algorithm for interactive with the website. And as we see, these efforts were worth it. The Forsage participants earned more than $2.5 million right now over first 2.5 months. And this is just the beginning.
Brings a smile to my face.
What?
It brings a big smile to my face to know the possibilities, you know, what the future holds.
Yes. So the next question is, what are the future plans for Forsage? So we have a lot of plans, of course. Forsage will grow as a community. We will have more and more materials and tools that will help participants conduct their business completely. We plan to transfer the website domain to the system, maybe you hear, IPFS. It is Interplanetary File System. Yes, it's really called like that. This is a decentralized system. The website will always work. It will be impossible to stop it. So now Forsage is the decentralized because it is on a smart contract. And the site is an auxiliary tool. The site on IPFS will also become decentralized. And we can say the Forsage is an interplanetary project.
Yeah, that's definitely fantastic news to know that the website, because yeah, I was going to ask more questions about the interplanetary file systems. And I did read, I went online and, of course, I Googled it. I read on Wikipedia some information and then read, of course, the actual website. And then I watched a playlist of developers who have put their, who are using that site. Like some were Audacious, I think its name, Netflix. There's a variety of well-known companies that are switching over to this effectively, as I guess you described it, having your site on a decentralized, so this way that it can't be attacked, like a lot of websites get attacked, DDoS attacks and so forth, but that this, so does that basically prevent DDoS attacks?
Yes, it is already safe because smart contract nobody can attack.
Right, but I mean the website though, the actual interface.
Yes, of course. Of course, it is better to have a website too. So now we will have the safest one.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. You guys here on the Power Team. I mean, again, I hope that, and of course, we are right now a small esoteric group here on this call, but that the things that are being shared right now, I hope that people understand what significance this holds. I mean, again, this is definitely very, as Lado's already explained, unique in and of itself. The fact that we have this decentralized cycler, as it's known, on a now a system, or has it been shifted, Lado? Has it been moved? Has the website been moved to the interplanetary file system, IPFS? Has the website been moved yet?
We're working in it.
Okay.
It is in the nearest future.
Got it. So again, even knowing that this, because I know you guys have, I mean, it's been exciting because myself, other people on the team are seeing all the changes that you're making with the landing page, with various things on the dashboard. It's just phenomenal. I mean, to see a lot of these little details that are going into the dashboard, and yeah, it's really nice. So I'm very happy with the results thus far, no doubt about it. Anyone? So anyways, again, I don't mean to put Lado on the spot, but again, if
there is one more, the last prepared question.
Okay, my apologies. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, the last question was what would you advise is the best way to do a business in Forsage? What can I say? Many people want to receive passive income, and on the internet, many passive income offers await you. So-called investments, put your money in the project and wait for your money to grow on its own. In reality, most of people are losing in these projects. It is scam. It doesn't work like that. If you want real passive income, you need to build your own business. The most affordable option for the average person is MLM, multi-level marketing. Forsage is the most effective variant. Learn the business well, give information to as many people as possible, and then help them, train them, so that partners who are ready to work themselves appears in your structure. And they will also find partners in their structure who will become independent. Only then will you have a long-term passive income.
Awesome.
Yeah, so getting out there and building your teams, in a nutshell, is very key to this project. And I think that it's really exciting and unique to know that, you know, people actually have something that they can build an amazing like passive income passively. And I think that, as you said already, Lado, that there are so many passive income platforms that are really scams. And that's not to say that everything is a scam. I mean, there are reputable, regulated companies that, you know, have all their, you know, I's dotted and their T's crossed. But to have this smart contract that is so well designed that gives people the confidence that they can grow, that they can actually now, you know, not have to worry, you know, lose sleep at night, not knowing if when they wake up, like, oh my God, is my money gonna be there tomorrow? And we know that, for one, there's no money that goes into this contract. It's just that is not how this contract is designed at all. And yeah, that gives people, I think it should give people more confidence for them to share this with other people, because again, it's scam proof. And I think a lot of people don't get that because they're so scarred, they're so hurt from having lost, you know, just a little bit. I mean, I've lost thousands of dollars. I mean, just to be in full disclosure with everyone, I lost $4,000 one time in an instant. Okay, so for people who are like, oh, I lost $10, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, and I know it's different for each person. Your situation might be you might be on the far end of you know, barely having enough money to eat the next day. But you shouldn't be getting into passive income platforms. I will, you know, give that caveat that you probably shouldn't be trying to get into passive income platforms if $10 is too much to get into this. But again, knowing that there is now this, in particular, Forsage, a platform that I feel so good about, because as many of you already know, like, I wasn't doing on camera videos. I've been a YouTuber now for, you know, like a year and a half, almost 2 years that I've been going strong. And I never did on camera videos. I didn't do it because I always wanted to be anonymous with respect to, because I knew that a platform, once the shit hits the fan, that I would be the first person to take the heat, right? So as you can see, I have no problem showing my face now because I'm very confident in this platform and what it brings to the table. And I have other passive income platforms that I'm in. I haven't talked about them in weeks. I haven't even talked about them because you know what I mean? I'm so happy with Forsage that, well, I feel like really this is the only thing I want to share with people, because I know, for one, they're safe and the potential for growth is just amazing. So anyways, I'll run my mouth, as everyone here already knows, if you let me. So anyway.
Yeah, I think Daniela Stoltz had some questions.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I wanted to ask something. So Sana, one of your downlines said that they will do the work and all that stuff, and you were the sponsor, right? Hoping, obviously, which was probably my fault as well, but hoping that they would also do as much work or see the potential as I did. How would a person be able to, would you have to do the work now for them and they benefit, or how would you be able to cut them out if you could cut them out?
So you're asking me this? You're asking to Lada?
I'm asking everyone on the group this because the thing is, there's a lot of people coming in with their $10 and then they're just sitting. They're not actually moving with the group, and that's a problem.
Unfortunately, you can't disconnect anyone. If they're in, they're in.
So does that mean I must do more work and put people underneath them so they can benefit?
Well, you can decide. If someone comes under your group and is not an active player, then you don't want to put any more people below them because they're not going to benefit.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't benefit from that, would I?
Yeah,
because
then put another ID next to them and put those people under that, or put them under another ID you have, or put them under other people who are active. There are some people.
So I'd move away from that specific.
Because if there's no activity below them, then they won't get any more spillovers. And by right, it's up to you. Being the sponsor is up to you.
Okay.
And keep in mind, if they don't upgrade, like on X3, then on X4, then the cycle will stall out, right? And then the payments will then just skip them altogether. So I mean,
will I get affected by that, by their laziness?
No, because the payments will go up. They pass through them like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like a hot knife through butter, it just slides right on through to the next person that it should. And so their inactivity is, it's their loss. And unfortunately, I mean, we've had to make, we've had to show examples of people who just, they allow their, or rather they don't allow, or rather they don't do anything, and then they allow themselves to just get passed over. And it's happening like left and right, up, down, and center.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's all I wanted to ask. Because the thing is, the people beneath me would be asking the same thing if they're looking for someone to be their downline, and they will be asking these questions. So I need to be aware of the answer as well, so that I can give that through as well.
Yeah, the system, the way that it works, again, is they don't slow the process down of the matrix, because the payment will just, as I said, if they stall out, even if they were just going to pocket the payments, they can only receive payments for so long before they have to upgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
You see, because what I thought is I have to fill their slots. If they don't do it, then I must do the work for them underneath them.
No, don't waste your time on that.
Don't waste your time. Just put it on another ID you have, or if you must, just spend another 0.05 and open another ID next to them.
Okay. No, that's all I wanted to ask.
Well, if there's any other questions, by all means, shoot them out. No?
Have you got questions?
Everyone's all shy all of a sudden.
No, we don't know. That's the only question I wanted to know, because I don't want to go on with this program working for someone else. I want to focus on my own accounts, and I want to focus on growing those own accounts. And I don't want to stand still on one ID. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that was my biggest concern, because I don't want that happening to a different downline of mine, and then they come back to me asking, okay, what now, So now I've got an answer for them.
What's your question, Patrick? You said I will ask a question. I know people wonder what's that. Are you there, Patrick? Where's the money coming from, and what are you paying for? Well, you're paying for I would call it a license to play. The product is the income stream, right? The license for the income stream is essentially what the product is, or where the money is coming from. When you say, is that right? That it's coming from someone who wants to purchase, like they want to purchase a cup of coffee, or they want to purchase whatever, that person, in order to involve themselves and get engaged with whatever the, if it's a hair product, right, they have to go and they have to pull money from outside, from somewhere in the economy, right, and put it into the system. Yeah, I say that by their ID account. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. I usually tell them you're basically buying your own product. You're busy buying your own slot, your own space on the matrix system, and then they're cool with it. Then they don't feel like they're giving money to me personally. They're not doing something for us. They're doing it for themselves by basically getting their own ID, getting their own place into the system.
Right. Yeah, and again, it's, you know, they are buying the license to be able to continue that income stream or the next income stream, essentially.
Yeah.
When I get this question, I tell the people below me, they're actually buying the rights to use my sponsorship, and thereby buying the license to use this platform to earn income. So then that makes sense to them.
Yeah, I think of it as Patrick says, I think of it as you are a reseller, because that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
You are becoming a person who is essentially giving out the license, and it perpetually happens. And again, your own downline, as I said, has to pay you again to use that license. I mean, again, I see John coming through and having to pay me again on level 1 to reactivate his income stream. Likewise with Patrick, he's having to come in and pay me again to reactivate his income stream, and so on and so forth. And again, a lot of people, it's going to take them a second to get their mind around it. I mean, of course, with these Zoom calls, we try to clarify a lot of these questions as best we can. But at the end of the day, people, first of all, as Lotto said, you know, we are clearly in a unique moment in history where people are, if they haven't felt it yet, they're as countries across the world, you know, begin to go through this economic downturn, and to say the least, I mean, we've only just begun. I mean, even if they reverse the engines on this thing at full speed, it's still going to be a lot of heartache across the world for people who are looking for income, and passive income in particular, to prevent this from happening again. So, you know, it's definitely a unique time to share this with people, because people are more open to listening to it than they probably have ever been, you know?
Yeah.
And so on. Da 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 da. Yeah, but hey, again, I'll run through right quick, you know, for people that are watching this after the fact. I guess I can put in this is my, actually, I'm going to need to sign. I'm going to show right quick the process, and assuming that you've already downloaded MetaMask, and it is the same. I can't show you on this Zoom call what the process would be. I can perhaps do a video. I can do that, because I told, and Daniela, as you know, and people have been asking, how do I do this on my phone? Well, most phones have a recording, recording software somewhere embedded, right, that you can use to actually record, as I did for, you know, one of the last signups where we all went, we jumped over and did backflips and full twisting backflips to get that dude signed up. Right. But anyways, I did a video on my phone for the Trust wallet. I think that may have helped to some degree. I know John did some work as well, you know, to help get him, like, you know, up to speed with how it works. But I'll just show this example right quick on, at least here on MetaMask, so that I can show people how to sign up. And hang on one sec.
Actually, for Android, I've already done the recording and posted it to group for Trust Wallet, how it works.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
For Android devices, I've actually recorded for my iPhone over my Android how to do it on Trust Wallet, and I posted the video on the group.
Gotcha. And so, yeah, I'll just show right quick. I mean, again, for people that have held on to watching the video, and I think we basically, when I upload the video, we've gone about an hour and 15 minutes, so nothing too crazy time-wise. But for people, you know, I mean, this is just what I tell people. It's like, you know, you got to read a book and read all the way through if you want to get to you know, the knowledge or the experience of the book. So for people who can't sit through this video, yes, I can chop it up in segments, but hey, it's a podcast is what I'm calling it. But so if I sign up rather with this, I'm going to minimize this here. And if with this open account, because yes, you can make multiple accounts on MetaMask and on Trust Wallet. So keep that in mind. You can have multiple, I think endless amounts of Ethereum wallets. So not to get into why you would want to do that, but there are, you know, reasons. So, but just for this example, for example, to show how I would sign up. So I've just put in what I think is my main account for Forsage. And if I put that in, that should take me to the sign up page, if I'm not mistaken, because this process is working very smooth now. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's already there. I would go to join because I have an open wallet that hasn't been attached to, oh, hang on. I do need to log out. But that's another thing to be aware of for people who, if you have already like kind of looked around, you know, kicked the tires a little bit and you've entered into an account, you do need to log out when you put in the new address, whatever it be. So let me go and hit login, or rather registration. And so now, as you can see with my link, it was already coded into the browser there, and the number is correct, right? So this is where you'll see who your upline sponsor will be. The green confirm button will pop up. You click onto it, and this will bring up the MetaMask, where again, MetaMask doesn't send money out unless you manually do it. You have to confirm all transactions. So for people who are, you know, nervous about having MetaMask on their computer, again, the only way to make it work is to confirm the transaction. Now, again, I don't have any money in this wallet, so as of course, for people who don't know, yeah, you would have to have money in there. Blue button would pop up. You hit confirm, boom. You wait about a minute or so for it to confirm on Etherscan, and that's it. Okay, you are then a member. As I explained before earlier, you enter into X3 and to X4, and that's what happens. So,
Tomek, can I just say one thing here, because I think it's important.
Please.
When you come to this screen where you click automatic registration and login, when you are going to register, be sure to check your upline ID, because I have seen a couple of times where they just clicked confirmed, and then they come under ID 1, I think, if they don't confirm.
Right, it defaults to ID 1.
So be sure that the upline ID is correct over there before you click confirm.
Can I ask something? Why would that upline say something else though? Like, how does it even get?
Let me chime in on this one. If you have never opened, well, it works the same in Trust Wallet on Android, iPhone, or in the Chrome. If you have never opened the Forsage website before, the first time you do it and you make a mistake, you will default to ID 1 because you've never visited any other ID. But if you have visited someone's ID as a viewer in view mode to see someone else's ID, it's stored in the cache. So when you don't log out, it will show the ID of that person. And most people, like on computer, it's easier because the screen is bigger. You can actually see the upline is the wrong one. But if it's on a mobile phone, a lot of people on Trust Wallet just go press, and it just goes straight into the wrong ID and it's done. You know, they don't look at the number because it's very, very small.
I'll add something onto that. I actually noticed, I think they actually changed it now to, on the upline, where it says upline, the ID number, you can actually change it now. You can change, you can change that upline number to what, so for instance, if I said to you the upline, you have to make sure the upline is 17417, for instance. You can actually change it there. It will automatically take you to that account. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
But that is only in the Trust Wallet, or
but be very careful. Be very careful of this one, because if you look at the top in the web browser search, you can see the address of the registration going to go under the upline. Now, if you change the number below, if you can, if this address still points to that upline, you're still going to sign up under that upline. You have to physically change the upline's address.
Okay. No, I just noticed it the other day. I thought it was one of their new changes.
No. It's the same thing. This how it works. I do know that whenever you run this script on this page, it actually ties your new thing to the wallet address of the other person, the upline. So the wallet address always shows at the top. The registration will go under this person.
Mm.
Like I said,
I think we're all trying to figure this out, eh?
no. The reason why I'm saying that, because I actually did it. I actually changed it on the upline number. I changed it, and it actually went to the right account. I don't know.
No. John said you
I
can, but you
understand.
must be
Yes,
careful that
you must be
it
careful, I
can
understand.
go back to upline one.
Okay. No, for sure.
Uh,
Because I did
Yeah.
it. I did it.
I think for the sake of keeping it simple, you know what I mean? Just because if someone tries to do it an alternate way, they run into that, potential snafu of it not working the way that they thought it did. And this way, I mean, it's pretty much, because again, going back to the fact that with you going to the, let me go back to that landing page, but that the landing page, the way that it is now, I mean, again, I've seen pretty flawless, outside of, again, the fact that I had been looking at another account, just as you saw when I hit join now, and it took me to another account. But I was already looking at that account. And so we always tell people to be sure that you do log out, but they should know if another screen pops up or a view mode screen pops up, because that was a view mode that I was looking at, then they would need to log out from that view mode. But then beyond that, once they put in the link, again, simple instructions, put in the affiliate link that you want to put in, go ahead and hit join now. And with a fresh wallet, you are going to, it is going to take you to the registration. And then from there, of course, like Patrick said, be sure that you double, triple check that it is the ID number of the person who you have, wanted to associate yourself with. And beyond that, it should be pretty much like, just follow the on-screen instructions and then you're good to go.
Or else you have to
Yes.
take out of your pocket again to get it right.
Done that.
Done that, been there.
Yeah, I was thinking about one thing. The number one mistake I made is about the keyword phrase for the password, right? Also to put it out that it's pretty important to save the key phrase.
Yeah, definitely a good point. Yeah, Rachel, because again, so many people are coming into this are going to be brand new, right? Who have they have no experience at all with cryptocurrencies, much less smart contracts or dApps, right?
Who is Rachel?
This is Rachel, right? Don't I pronounce it Rachel?
Rizal, right?
Yes, it's right. Thank you. Yeah, I've been talking to you, John, before.
So it's Rachel, right?
I want to point out something important yesterday, because Richard's PC crashed yesterday, and when he recovered his PC and installed the Chrome, his MetaMask, the 12 words he put in only showed him 4 accounts. So then he freaked out as usual because he's got more than those. He had 8 accounts actually. So what happens is, let you guys know, I'm not going to share the screen now to do it, but if you want to know, you can chat me up. I'll just talk about it here very briefly. So what he did was, I told him to reinstall, everything got done and good, MetaMask installed, put in the 12 words, and what MetaMask showed him was only 4 accounts. So what he did next, I told him to do, was to create a new account in MetaMask and then log out of Forsage and log in again with that wallet address, and then his 5th account appeared. And then create another account, number 6, and then log out of Forsage again and log in again with the green bar, and then his 6th account appeared, and he kept doing it until all the 8 accounts appeared. So don't panic if you lose it, and don't just trash the MetaMask. Check with me, we're not sure. Do the account manually add, you get it all back.
So basically you're telling me that I could actually retrieve my account back? Is that what you're saying, John?
Because for his case, when he crashed his PC, he had to reinstall Windows and Chrome and MetaMask, and then he had the 12 words, the seed phrase from his original MetaMask, so he put it back in, and it only showed him 4 accounts. He had 8. So what I told him to do was to then add an account under MetaMask, so it became account 5. And then he logged out of Forsage and clicked the green auto login, and then his account appeared back as number 5. And then he did it again, add another account, logged out again of Forsage and logged in again, and his account 6 appeared, and 7 and 8 and so on and so forth. So that's one thing to remember. If you get a PC crash or something goes wrong, don't panic, because it's still there. You just can't see it. You just got to recreate the accounts one by one. But they will link it back. That's one thing. Second thing is, I would advise everybody not to rely too much on exporting the 12-word key phrase. In MetaMask, if you go into your account, if you click on a certain account you have, do an idea of keeping a backup, because inside the accounts, each of them, there is the account's details. Let me just log in and show you exactly which page it is. If you go to your, Tomek, if you click on your Foxhead MetaMask.
Yeah, here, let me go ahead and do that. To get the private keys?
Yeah, correct, exactly that one.
Right.
In every account you have, if you go into, say you click on one power team.
Actually, hang on, I have to do it from here.
Yeah, no, the right hand side, the 3 dots. Go to account details.
Right.
Yeah, then if you go export private key, if you key in your password there, this will show you the specific key for 64 code key for this account. Now, what I do with me, I've got 59 accounts in MetaMask. So I copy paste the name, I copy paste the address, and I also copy paste the keys, and I keep it in the safe wallet, so in the safe vault. So if anything goes wrong, you can recover every one of them.
Yeah, I've got mine on a separate hard drive.
Yeah, you can also move all these accounts to any other wallet, Trust Wallet or whatever. And for people who are stuck with accounts on Trust Wallet, if you want to know how to export out your private keys and move that into MetaMask, I've also found a way to do it easily.
Yeah, we definitely need to bring that to the table for people who are curious how to do that. I
have to do a video for that, because you need to use your computer to create another Windows user and then install MetaMask fresh, and then you export your 12 words from your Trust Wallet into that brand new account MetaMask, and then you can get your private keys from there. And then you write it down. So that's the workaround to it.
Okay. Yeah. So hey, but I guess though, because again we're at what 1:30 now, mark, and I mean outside, I think we've pretty much covered, you know, again the main gist of it. And again, Lotto coming onto the call was pretty historic. So I have to say thank you, Lotto, for taking time out, bro, to come by. He's still there. I know he's still there. I can see him in the background.
Hello.
Yeah, but thank you, man. I appreciate it. I know you are in the country of Georgia, right?
Yes, it is close to Russia. I'm from Russia, but living in Georgia.
Right, but we're in the same time zone. Georgia is in the same time zone as Helsinki?
It is close, just 1 hour.
Ah, okay.
It is 9:46 p.m. now.
Gotcha. So yeah, anyways, you and I both are, well, many of us here are night owls, because I know we were talking, I guess just last night, you were up, it had to be 4 o'clock in the morning, huh? Yeah, it was late.
We're on another side of Earth.
But hey, that's the way it goes when you guys out here want to earn and make that money. Keeping late hours is, well, it just becomes easy. I mean, even though it might not be the healthiest thing, but you know, I have to say that John has been, you know, concerned about my health at times. Likewise, am I him when he's staying up until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But again, you know, the fact of the matter is that this platform works. It is something that I have been, you know, very clearly excited about. And I feel very fortunate and blessed to have met as many people as I have, you know, in recent weeks, as the power team begins to develop and grow. And it's just, you know, it's something that I hope people, I mean, like Daniela was asking about, I mean, you can't force people to see it, to get it. But for those of you who do get it, you know what's going on. And then that's all we got to do is just keep pressing forward. So just stick with it. Hey, but with that, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. And I think this has been a successful call. And again, keep in mind that, and I appreciate it, Lotto has asked me to do a marketing. Sorry?
We have a little news right now. First partner in Forsage activate all slots in X3, all slots in X4. So it is right now only one. I think very soon there will be many partners.
Wait, who was this that activated all 6? I mean, all 24?
Mark Hamlin.
Ah, okay. Yes, we are very, very well aware of Mark. I'm in connected to his account, his lineage. So good for him. We are well on our way. We're on his tail, no doubt about it. This power team is ready to dominate and get up there with him.
Because some people think that it is impossible, but as we see, it is possible.
Yeah, clearly. Again, I mean, sticking with it, like sticking with anything, persistence. I mean, I don't need to go into any, motivational quotes right now, but persistence and passion. I mean, it's what it's really about. And I, again, believe you me, having been in as many platforms as I've been in, I must say that this has been, as I said before, it's easy. It's like effortless when you see how well this works because you're so excited. So it is clearly, to me, the path to take. So whether or not people get it, you know what I mean? I don't need you to get it. You know what I mean? I got it. So I'm pressing on, so I hope that everyone will join me.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Now, what I found is when I started, it was difficult. You first had to learn the program. Once I learned the program, it started getting easier to explain it to people. Now I'm at the point where most of my sign-ups now, I've had about 4 or 5, and the rest are coming, are all signing up one time to level 5. They don't even start at level 1, they're signing straight to level 5. I know the program and I know how it works. So I'm able to make their money back within the first couple of days.
Yeah, but that puts a lot of heat under our asses as well to keep ahead, because they are your downline. You don't want them going past you. Obviously, you want to move together. So it puts a lot of heat on our.
Yeah, that's already happened. A couple of people, I won't say no names. They know who they are, but they got passed up already, and they were, oh shit, I gotta go ahead and upgrade. So yeah, it's serious out here in these crypto streets, and people they're not waiting around for you. So you better go ahead and tell your team.
Once you're passionate about it, that's what starts happening. Once you're passionate and you do the work, that starts happening.
Yeah.
Hey, so Lotto, again, as I said to, I was telling people that Lotto has asked me to do a marketing webinar on Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. Those of you that are still on the call, don't be shy. Make sure you make it out to that one. And yeah, it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. All right, hey, so over and out. Boom.
Bye.
Been a good time.